You have seen the Florida retirement ads. Palm trees, golf courses, beaches that look almost too perfect. And then you check the prices. A condo near Naples, $500,000. A house outside Sarasota, $600,000. And that is before the homeowners association fees that never stop climbing. The statewide median home value in Florida sits right around $400,000 today. And a lot of good people have quietly decided that owning a home here is just out of reach. But here is what nobody is telling you. The best housing deal in Florida is not on the coast. It is not in Tampa or Orlando or any place you have seen on a postcard. It is in small rural towns you have probably never heard of, where a real livable house still sells for less than a new pickup truck. And when you pull up those listings, the prices are so low, your very first thought is going to be, wait, what is wrong with this place? That question is exactly what this video answers. Because there is a reason these towns are cheap, and once you understand it, you will see it is not a warning. It is an opportunity that the coastal buyer is locked out of. So today we are counting down 9 rural Florida towns that are so affordable, you will wonder what is wrong. I will give you the honest catch on every single one, and then I will show you who each town is actually right for. Stay until number 1, because by the end of this video, at least one of you is going to be on Zillow. Let us take a look. Number 9, Okeechobee. Sitting on the edge of Lake Okeechobee, the second largest freshwater lake entirely inside the United States. This is bass fishing country, and the whole town is built around the water. Winter snowbirds, RV communities, and a slow, friendly pace that has been drawing retirees for decades. So what is wrong with it? Honestly, not much, except that it is firmly inland, a solid drive from any ocean beach, and summers on the lake are hot and humid. But that is exactly why it is affordable. You get genuine waterfront living, boat out your back door living, at a fraction of what the same lifestyle cost you on the coast. For a retiree with a boat or an angler who is done paying coastal prices, this is a dream. The typical home value in Okeechobee is right around $287,000. For water access, most of Florida would charge double for. And the next town is cheaper still. Number 8, Arcadia in DeSoto County. Arcadia is the kind of old Florida most people think no longer exists. Wide oak-lined streets, a historic downtown packed with genuine antique shops, and a cattle ranching heritage that gives the whole town an unhurried, friendly character. People here wave at you and mean it. What is the catch? Arcadia is rural by design. There are no big-box luxuries. The job market is built on agriculture, not tech or tourism, and that keeps wages and prices low. But that low-cost structure is the gift. Your fixed income is not just covering the house here, it is covering your whole life. And there is a well-regarded regional hospital within reach, so you are not gambling on healthcare. The typical home value in Arcadia is right around $256,000. That brings us to number 7. Number 7, Lake Wales, in the middle of Polk County. Lake Wales is quietly one of the prettiest spots in Central Florida, home to the historic Bok Tower Gardens and surrounded by rolling lakes. It sits right in the center of the state, which means the coasts and the theme parks are all about an hour away in any direction. So what is wrong? Nothing really, beyond the fact that it is inland and it is not flashy. It got passed over while the money rushed to the coasts and the tourist corridors. But for a buyer who wants real lakes, real charm, and Central Florida access without Central Florida pricing, that oversight is your opening. The typical home value in Lake Wales is right around $243,000. Number 6 takes us toward the Springs. Number 6, Dunnellon in Marianna County, near the crystal clear Rainbow River. This is spring country. The water here is famous, glass clear and fed from underground, and it is some of the most beautiful in the entire state. You are also right next door to Ocala, which means real shopping and real medical care are close by. The honest catch is that Dunnellon itself is small and quiet, and you are paying for proximity to that gorgeous water. But here is the clever part. The wealthy horse country money is concentrated over in Ocala, so it brings services and amenities to the area without inflating Dunnellon's own prices. You get rural pricing with upscale infrastructure a short drive away. Homes here generally run in the low 200s, with plenty of options below that for buyers willing to look. That is Dunnellon. Alright, we are 4 towns in, and before we get to the back half, notice the pattern. Every town so far is cheap for the same simple reason. The big industry never arrived, or the crowds went to the coast instead, so prices never got inflated. Nothing is wrong with these places, they were just left alone. And the towns that truly fail are the ones with nothing to anchor them. No lake, no downtown, no hospital nearby. Not one of these is on that path. Keep that in mind, because the next 5 are even cheaper. And if you would rather own a quiet home outright than rent a nice view you can never afford, you and I think the same way. Subscribe, because the back half of this list is the best part. Number 5, Crescent City in Putnam County, a place that calls itself the bass capital of the world. This little town sits in a chain of lakes along the St. Johns River corridor, and it is genuinely beautiful, with water on nearly every side and almost no crowds anywhere. So what is wrong with Crescent City? The honest answer is that Putnam County is one of the most overlooked corners of north central Florida. The job market is thin, and it is a real drive to a major city. But that is precisely why the prices are what they are. Dig into what has actually been selling here, and you find livable lakefront area homes that have closed near $129,000, and small parcels for far less than that. For a cash buyer or a retiree on a fixed income who wants water and quiet over convenience, the math is extraordinary. And number 4 is more rural still. Number 4, Madison in deep North Florida, almost on the Georgia line. Madison is built around a genuinely lovely historic town square, and it is the kind of place people move to for land, space, and to be left alone. This is homesteading country, where retirees grow vegetables, keep a few chickens, and stop pretending they ever enjoyed traffic. What is the catch? Madison is remote. You are closer to South Georgia than to any Florida metro, and the nearest big city specialist is a drive. But the cost of living here is so low, it genuinely drags the county's averages down, which tells you everything about how far a dollar goes. Pair that with Florida's zero state income tax, and for the right buyer chasing simplicity and savings, Madison is one of the best quiet bets in the state. Number 3 brings us back to the Panhandle. Number 3, Marianna, the heart of Jackson County in the Panhandle. Marianna has more going on than a town its size should. There are real caverns you can tour, the Chipola River running nearby for paddling and fishing, and genuine Civil War history woven through downtown. It works as a small regional hub, so you get services without the sprawl. So what is wrong? You are a real distance from any major coastal city up here, and this is a different, piney, Alabama-adjacent flavor of Florida that surprises people expecting palm trees. But it is also panhandle affordable, with historic character that most farm towns simply do not have. While listings vary, there is a steady supply of solid homes here, priced well below the state median for buyers who want land and history together. If you are still with me at number 3, you are clearly the type who does the math before a big move. Subscribe, because I cover towns like this every single week. Now the top 2. Number 2, Live Oak in Suwannee County, the gateway to the Suwannee River and Florida's famous spring country. If you retired to be outside on the water, in a kayak or a tube on a clear river, Live Oak is almost purpose-built for that life. It uses nearby Lake City as its bigger service hub, so you are rural but you are not stranded. Here is why Live Oak ranks this high. You get that whole spring and river lifestyle without competing against wealthy second home buyers, because they simply have not discovered it the way they discovered the coast. The honest catch is that it is genuinely rural and genuinely quiet, and that is not for everyone. But for water people, the cost-to-lifestyle ratio is almost unbeatable. The typical home value in Live Oak is right around $163,000. River Country, Florida, for less than many people pay for a truck. And that brings us finally to number 1. Number 1, and I need you to hear me out on this one. Blountstown in Calhoun County, out along the Apalachicola River in the Panhandle. This is the one that will make you check the listing twice. Blountstown sits in what is, by the state's own cost measures, the single cheapest county in all of Florida. It is small, it is quiet, it is real river country, with a historic courthouse and a pioneer settlement heritage. So what is wrong with it? Here is the honest, remarkable answer. Prices in Blountstown have actually been falling, with the median listing price recently down around 24% compared to a year earlier. Now that scares some people. It should not. The town is not collapsing. There has simply never been a development rush here to prop prices up, and that means a buyer is walking into a genuine window. My honest assessment is that this is the most rural place on the entire list. You are trading big city shopping and convenience for space, quiet, and the lowest cost of living in the state. But for a cash buyer, a retiree, or a remote worker who is truly done with the noise, this is as affordable as Florida gets. The typical home value in Blountstown sits right around the mid-100,000s, and individual homes have recently been listed for less. Real homes in Florida, in the cheapest county the state has, for the price of a car. You read that right, and yes, you should go check it for yourself. So why are these 9 towns so affordable? When you add it all up, it comes down to 3 forces, and not one of them means anything is wrong. First, the industry left or it never came, and the crowds chose the coast. When the jobs and the rush went elsewhere, the prices never inflated. Second, low cost of living and low demand. These are inland and rural towns, away from the hurricane-driven insurance spikes that crushed coastal budgets, so a dollar simply goes further. And third, the arbitrage. If your income is portable, a pension, Social Security, or a remote paycheck, you can carry that money into a town the market forgot and live like the rules do not apply to you. So the next time a Florida listing looks too cheap to be real, remember, nothing is wrong with it. It was just left behind, which is exactly why it is the best deal left in the state for the right person. So whether you are relocating, planning ahead, or just tired of paying city prices for city problems, I hope this list gave you a place to start. Those are 9 rural Florida towns where owning a home outright is still completely real. Subscribe so you catch next week's list. And tell me in the comments which one of these you would actually move to. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.